Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Wanted to ask Customs and Border Patrol about just the issue of resources and people, because I look at this two ways. One, we've certainly in the state of Washington had 50, over 52,000 people who have been infected with COVID and had one of the first cases in the nation, and we've lost lives. But the issue of personal protective equipment is, we've had an incident where I think the governor had to return over 200,000 masks in a 2-week time period because the FDA took a foreign manufacturer off the authorized list. And then we've had the opposite, where we've actually got into production, companies who've switched modes of what they were manufacturing, tried to help the effort, and then they're trying to produce both surgical and N95 masks and still haven't gotten everything they need to move forward on the approval of that. So I look at that and I think, what is the underlying issue here? And so I want to ask whether you feel like you have the people and the resources to meet the challenge of this job.
So, Senator, with respect to processing cargo as it arrives in the United States, or even export cargo, Congress and the Senate has been very generous with CBP with respect to our CBP officer resources, and we're very grateful for that. And we've done a very good job over the last 5 years of turning around our hiring capabilities so that we are now in a better position than we have been in years with respect to our CBP officer resources. And these are the resources that work at our ports of entry. These are the first line of defense with respect to processing cargo and getting cargo into the United States in the next.
So, well, listen, I'm a big cargo state, so
yes,
definitely understand about cargo. But my point is, do you have specially trained officers in this area of PPE equipment?
So, not necessarily, but through our Pharmaceuticals, Health and Chemicals Center of Excellence and Expertise, we work with that industry to understand what their needs are, and then we try to expedite whatever processing we can on their behalf. But we rely on the private sector to explain to us what those needs are.
I'm not talking about needs now. I'm talking about not letting product into the country that doesn't qualify. So I'm curious as to whether you're coordinating with DHS and FDA to ensure that the PPE equipment that is imported meets the quality standards, so that we don't have product running around and then people assuming that we have product and then having it have to be recalled or, reclaimed by our states.
Yes, Senator, we work very closely with FEMA, and you mentioned emergency use authorization. I believe one of the things that FEMA communicates to us are who are the authorized manufacturers of products, so that we can look at that to segment the risk. We turn over product to FDA for their review and approval on a regular basis. And whenever FDA makes changes to those emergency use authorizations and identifies changes in those manufacturer lists, then we adjust our capabilities accordingly using our automated systems.
Well, I would suggest we have specially trained people to help with this. I think, look, we don't want to create 3 or 4 steps. And there's many aspects of the COVID crisis where we've had to knock down those 3 or 4 steps, and whether it was testing and getting our universities up to speed on testing or a whole variety of things. So I would definitely want to see more coordination between CBP and the FDA on those issues. There's just no reason we should allow product in that we know is defective or not going to help. But the other issue is, I feel like we're not being aggressive enough in really understanding and communicating with our manufacturers. I think Korea decided, like, they were like, we're just going domestic production. That's it. We're going domestic production. So you want to get the supply chain and the authority and the lines of responsibility to those manufacturers so we can move ahead. We shouldn't have millions of masks. This is what's happening to us right now. Millions of masks, both N95 and other, sitting stored somewhere in Pioneer Square where we have healthcare workers who are dying. They are in need of this product. So I want to expedite this product process and make sure that we are, that we know what the U.S. manufacturers are required to do, that they are meeting this process and that we expedite that. So if we're going to go this route of a domestic route, which, you know, I'm proud of these companies that have switched over, we need to make sure that we can do it in a timely safe but timely fashion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,